Hey guys, it's me, Brittany. So it's the third week. This is the seventh recipe for this Thanksgiving movement I'm doing, trying to give different dishes that are usually cooked on Thanksgiving. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the recipes and the dishes I've been choosing. Today we will be doing macaroni and cheese. And for anyone who's new, these cooking videos that I'm doing is solely for blind people that are like myself, that want to be more independent and cook more. I'm here to encourage and empower all blind and visually impaired individuals. And as far as the ones that can see, I'm sorry I'm not in the kitchen. And if you are willing to watch the video, you should be able to complete the dish without seeing me cook it. So you guys will be exercising your listening skills, really. Okay, so the ingredients you need is your go-to seasoning, seasoned salt or pink Himalayan salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. You also need, so with macaroni and cheese, the more different cheeses you have, the better. So I usually do 2 or 3 different cheeses. So I usually get cream cheese, the Velveeta cheese block, and like a cheddar cheese, like either sharp cheddar, mild cheddar. I mean, I'm not really too picky when it comes to the cheddar cheese. And you need evaporated milk and butter. Yeah, of course, come on now, your macaroni noodles. I usually get seashells, large seashells, but you could do the OG way, which is the elbow macaroni shells. Or you can even do the twisty pasta shells. I do the twisty pasta shells sometimes as well. Okay, so first thing you do is you get your pasta, rinse it off. I put it in a strainer bowl and I just rinse it off. Then you get your pot that you're going to cook it in, boil the pasta in, and you put your pasta in there along with the water, making sure your water is covering your pasta noodles in the pot. You can put a pinch of salt in your water that's boiling with your pasta. And as that's boiling, we are going to tend to our cheese sauce. So you get another pot and turn on the eye for like about on low, and you pour in your evaporated milk. I usually pour in 2 cans of evaporated milk. So this recipe is really for 1 bag of pasta, which you can put in the little small pan and it's going to be compact, or you could put it in the bigger pan and it'll be like not as thick, it'll be looser because it's more space, if that makes sense to you guys. So I usually put like 2 cups of evaporated milk. Sorry, not 2 cups, 2 cans. And then I put a hunk of butter until I get to the full stick of butter. So I'm usually putting 4 hunks. After each hunk, I'm stirring it in slowly, making sure it's melted before I put the next hunk of butter. Then I put my block of cream cheese and let that melt in with the milk and butter. The point of the cream cheese is to really make it creamy. So then I put, after the cream cheese has melted, then I put about a quarter or a little more of a quarter amount of the Velveeta cheese, which is the Velveeta cheese block, That's usually like in the dry areas. The Velveeta cheese block is not usually found in the refrigerator section of the grocery store. You don't want to put too much of the Velveeta because it's going to end up tasting like box macaroni if you put too much. So after I put hunks of Velveeta until I put about a quarter of the block and it's all melted in, then that's when I add a gang of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. So I usually get the block of cheese, cheddar cheese, and I shred it. So you could buy the bag shredded cheese. It's already shredded if you just don't want to do all that. But it tastes better when you shred it yourself from the actual block. But either way, your macaroni is going to be delicious. Trust me. Don't feel bad if you only got shredded cheese in the back. You're going to be just fine. Trust me. Okay, so, and if you don't have all those different cheeses I just said, then your best bet is to just use like shredded cheddar cheese and another shredded cheese, whatever you want to use, you know, another cheddar or mozzarella, whatever, you know. Having those two shredded cheeses will be just fine if you don't have the cream cheese and the Velveeta and all that extra stuff. Okay, so after I add my shredded cheese, the gang of it, which however much you want, you know, cheese is cheese. Let it all melt in and everything. It should be all melted and good. Okay, so your noodles should be done. You know make sure your noodles are all the way done before you turn your water off and drain the water off the pasta noodles. Your pasta noodles should not be chewy at all. You know, it should be, you know, like they're done. Okay, so after you drain the water off of the pasta noodles, then you put your pasta noodles in a pan, or really you could leave it in the pot if you really want to. If your pot can go in the oven, then you could leave it in that pot, but I usually put it in a casserole dish, you know, like the silver pan. I'm always really referring to aluminum pan. So I put it in the pan, the pasta noodles, then I put the cheese sauce that we made over it, and you can put extra shredded cheese on top, which is what I do, like, period. And then you put it in the oven on 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 30 to 45 minutes. So after like 25 minutes, you should keep checking it every 5 minutes. And you know it's done when your cheese at the top is kind of like golden brown crispy. Like, you know, the extra cheese I put at the top that's just shredded, that wasn't a part of the cheese sauce, that cheese will be like, you know, golden brown, like, you know, a little crisp to it. Or if you didn't put the cheese on the top, then, you know, you could just taste it, and when it's all good, like macaroni and cheese, y'all know what it's supposed to taste like. Come on now. And then it should be done. The macaroni and cheese in my house is always gone. Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. Let me stop playing these games. When you guys are creating your cheese sauce, after you add the last cheese, which was the shredded cheese, make sure you season it with your go-to seasonings. You can also season the pasta noodles when you drain the water off of them a little bit too. So since you're seasoning both things, don't heavily season either or. Make sure you just put a little seasoning in both. And then you could, you know, put it together and put it in the oven. Sorry, I forgot about the seasoning part. But anywho, moving on to the tip that I have for you guys, which is to make your scrambled eggs fluffy. So I learned this from my sister Bridget. She taught me this. So basically, when you're scrambling your eggs, when you're whisking them, you're supposed to whisk or stir them with a fork. You know, breaking up all the yolk together and mixing it with the egg. And when you're actually scrambling it, when you put it in the pan to scramble it, you're supposed to use a spoon. That's the key. Using the fork to stir and whisk it, and using a spoon to cook it with. Then your eggs are going to be super fluffy. I noticed a big difference when I did it this way, because usually I stir it with a spoon and I cook it with the spoon, and my eggs are still pretty good. But when you do it this way, with stirring with the fork and then cooking with the spoon, it's much fluffier. And I love fluffy eggs. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy the macaroni. And don't forget to season it, like I forgot to tell y'all in the beginning. And I hope you guys are enjoying your week. Thanksgiving is coming up right around the corner. And I do want to say, if you have a tsunami in your life, don't let it swallow you. Just keep swimming. See you next time. Take picture. Stop recording video.